You don't need another big goal to feel good about yourself. What you need is something that actually works, something that helps you stay consistent even when life gets messy. Most people start strong, get excited, write down goals, make plans, and then nothing. The same cycle repeats. They feel like a failure, not because they didn't want it, but because they never had a system that kept them on track. Here's the truth. Goals sound nice, but they don't hold you up when you're tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. Systems do. A good system makes your life easier. It helps you move forward without having to think about it every minute. It doesn't rely on motivation. It runs on action. This audiobook isn't about hype. It's about showing you how to build a life that works for you. Real habits, real structure, real change. If you're tired of starting over, this will help you finally move forward for good.
Chapter 1. Choose actions that match the life you want. You don't get the life you want by waiting around for it. You get it by making daily decisions that point in that direction. You get it by choosing actions that line up with the person you want to become. That's where it all begins. You don't need a giant plan. You don't need the perfect opportunity. What you need is to ask yourself, what kind of life do I really want? And then make sure what you do today matches that. Most people say they want a better life, but their actions tell a different story. They say they want to be healthy, but their choices are built around comfort and convenience. They say they want to be wealthy, but they waste time every day and avoid hard work. They say they want peace, but they fill their mind with negativity and noise. You don't get what you want by talking about it. You get what you want by proving it through your behavior. That's the difference between people who grow and people who stay stuck. Growth is not about setting goals and then hoping something magical happens. Growth is about building a life that reflects your values. Every little choice you make adds up. You either choose the action that fits your future or the one that keeps you in the past. And you're choosing every single day whether you realize it or not. So the question is, do your actions match the life you say you want? You see, systems matter more than goals. A goal is something you write down once. A system is something you live every day. A goal says, I want to be fit. A system says, I work out every morning. A goal says, I want to be financially free. A system says, I invest a little every week and spend wisely. A goal is a wish. A system is proof. The person who builds a system doesn't have to hope things will change. They make sure of it. That's why systems win, because they are based on your daily decisions, not big declarations, not hype, just consistent behavior that keeps stacking up. So if you want to change your life, don't start with a dream. Start with your next move. Ask yourself, what does a better life require from me right now? If you want peace, maybe you stop reaching for your phone first thing in the morning. If you want strength, maybe you stop making excuses for skipping the gym. If you want success, maybe you stop waiting to feel ready and just begin. Don't overthink it. Start small, but start aligned. You don't have to do everything at once. You just have to do the right thing next. It's not about intensity. It's about direction. When your actions match the life you want, progress becomes automatic. You don't need to force it. You just need to keep doing the work. It's not going to be easy every day. Some days you'll be tired. Some days you'll feel like giving up. But that's when you go back to this truth. If I really want it, I have to live like it. Not talk about it, not wait for it. Live like it. The problem is, most people live in two separate worlds. One world is their imagination.
That's where they see the life they want. The second world is their habits. That's where they live every day. And if those two worlds don't match, frustration builds.
You feel stuck because you've built routines around the wrong identity. Change doesn't come from wanting something new. It comes from doing something new. You don't need better ideas. You need better patterns. You don't need more inspiration. You need better systems. And those systems start with choosing actions that reflect the life you want, not the life you're trying to escape. Start with your morning. Is it built with purpose or reaction? Do you start your day on your terms, or do you let the outside world decide your mood? What you do in the first hour of your day tells you a lot about how serious you are about building a better life. Then look at your time. How much of your day is spent on things that actually move you forward? Not things that keep you busy, not distractions that feel productive. I mean actions that align with your highest priorities. If the answer is not much, then you're not on the right system yet, and it's time to change that. Now think about your energy. Who are you spending it on? Where does it go? If most of your energy is going towards stress, scrolling, comparison, or people who drain you, you've got to take that back, because without energy, even the best system won't work. Protect your focus like it matters, because it does. Your energy, your time, your habits, those are your tools. Use them wisely. When they're aligned with who you want to become, you don't need to chase motivation. You just keep showing up. You stay steady. And over time, things begin to shift. This is how people change. Not by setting a big goal at the start of the year, but by deciding every single day to live like their future matters. You don't wait until life is perfect. You build better days, one action at a time. That's where power comes from. Daily alignment. You don't need to control the outcome. You need to control the process. The outcome will take care of itself when the process is strong. So, ask yourself right now, what do I do every day? What do I do every week? What do I keep doing even when nobody's watching? That's your system, and that system is either building your future or blocking it. If you want to be proud of your life, you have to be proud of your behavior. If you want to feel in control, you have to take control of the things that shape you, your choices, your habits, your routines. And the truth is, you already know the difference between what's helping and what's hurting.
You just have to be honest enough to admit it and strong enough to change it. You don't need more time. You need more direction. You don't need to feel ready. You need to start doing. Because once your life becomes a reflection of your system, you don't have to worry about motivation. You wake up with purpose. You go to bed with progress. Choose actions that match the life you want. Not once, every day. Make it your standard. Make it non-negotiable. And when life throws chaos your way, and it will, your system will hold you steady because you're not reacting to life anymore. System, alter, energy levels. Your system. You will truly become your life because you're not reacting, you're building it, brick by brick, step by step. You don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your system. And that system is built by what you repeat. Not what you say, not what you plan, what you repeat. So build it wisely, live it daily, and never forget, your system is your real future in motion. You either design it with intention, or you drift into someone else's plan. And that's the real cost of not choosing your actions wisely. The life you want is not far away. It's built into what you do next. So make that next move count. Make it reflect your values. Make it reflect your standard. Make it reflect your future. Because once your actions and your visions start matching, you don't just wish for change, you live it every day. And that, my friends, is how you build a life worth being proud of. You don't need to force your way into a better life. That's the mistake most people make. They try to build change on pressure and willpower, and eventually they crash. If your habits don't feel natural, you won't stick with them. And if you can't stick with something, it won't change anything. That's why real transformation starts with building patterns that fit who you are, where you are, and how you live right now. Not some perfect version of you, not some future idea of who you should be, the real you, today. When you force habits that don't feel right, you build resistance. Every day becomes a battle.
And soon you start avoiding the work, not because you're lazy, but because it doesn't feel like you. It feels like someone else's plan. That's the hidden reason most people fail. They're trying to live someone else's discipline, not their own. They copy what worked for someone on the internet or in a book without ever asking, does this actually work for me? You have to stop making your system feel like punishment. That's not sustainable. A good system should feel like you're giving something to your life, not taking something away. When you design your patterns around who you are, you create ease, and with ease comes flow, and with flow comes consistency. That's what matters most, not how hard you go, but how long you can keep going. The people who succeed long-term don't rely on hype or huge bursts of effort. They rely on rhythm. They know their limits, they know their strengths, and they build around them, not against them. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. if your mind works better at night. You don't need to read 10 books a month if you gain more from deep reflection. You don't need to journal every hour if that's not how you think. There is no single rule. What matters is finding what fits you and repeating it. If it's not sustainable, it's not useful. This is where self-awareness becomes powerful, not emotional talk, but clear understanding. What energizes you? What drains you? What helps you think clearly? What throws you off track? If you don't understand your own patterns, you'll keep forcing ones that don't fit, and that's how you burn out. Start by observing your current behavior without judgment, not to criticize it, but to learn from it. When do you feel most focused? What part of your day do you waste the most? What's one thing you do every day without effort? That's your starting point. Take what's already working and build around it. If you naturally enjoy walking in the evening, turn that into thinking time or gratitude reflection. If you like silence in the morning, protect that space and use it for planning or deep work. If you already drink coffee at a certain time, use that as a trigger to review your day or check in with your habits. You don't always need to add more. Sometimes you just need to attach meaning to what's already there. The goal isn't to create a perfect schedule. The goal is to create a pattern that pulls you forward instead of pushing you down. It fits. It feels light. It feels like support. And that feeling keeps you showing up even when you're tired, even when you're stressed, even when life gets messy. Because it's part of your identity now, not a task, but a pattern of living. And here's the truth. Change doesn't happen when you do something big once. It happens when you do something small enough to repeat day after day. You don't need your system to be impressive. You need it to be real. If all you can manage is 10 minutes of focus a day, start there. If all you can stick to is one good meal instead of 3, begin with that. If the only quiet moment you have is before bed, use it. The key is not perfection, it's emotional alignment. When your habits feel right, they don't feel like a chore, they feel like self-respect. You start looking forward to them, not because they're easy, but because they match your values.
And when your actions line up with your values, your confidence grows. Not because someone praised you, but because you're living in harmony with what you believe. It's also important to recognize that patterns evolve. What works now might not work 6 months from now, and that's okay. The system is not fixed. You are not fixed. You're allowed to grow. In fact, you must grow. But growth doesn't mean abandoning everything. It means adjusting, tuning, improving without breaking your rhythm. Maybe you add a new habit slowly. Maybe you drop one that doesn't serve you anymore. Maybe you shift your schedule to fit a new chapter of life. That's not weakness, that's intelligence. The ability to stay flexible while staying committed. That's what makes a system last. Don't confuse structure with pressure. You can have structure without guilt. You can have discipline without stress. The best systems don't trap you, they free you. They give you clarity, not confusion. They make your life easier, not harder. If your current habits feel like a burden, you need to redesign them. Not quit, just reshape. Start thinking in terms of anchors. What are the actions that ground you during the day? What helps you feel centered? It could be a morning stretch, a moment of quiet before your work, a daily check-in with yourself, a phone-free evening walk. These small anchors matter more than you think. They create rhythm, and rhythm keeps you
Stable when everything else around you feels unpredictable. And let's be honest, life is not always stable. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna lose focus. You're gonna feel off. But if your patterns are built around who you are, you'll always come back to them. Not because you're forcing it, but because it feels like home. That's what a strong system does. It brings you back to center. You don't need motivation every day. You don't need energy every day. You just need a pattern that can catch you when life throws you off. That's the power of building something natural. It holds you even when you're not at your best. This is how you create momentum that lasts, not by copying someone else's morning routine, not by forcing new habits every week, but by understanding who you are and building around it with care, clarity, and commitment. Your life deserves that kind of respect. Don't build systems to impress people. Build them to protect your peace. Build them to support your health. Build them to sharpen your focus. Build them to carry you through days when your willpower is gone. That's the long game. If it feels fake, you'll drop it. If it feels like punishment, you'll run from it. But if it feels like you, if it makes sense to your life, you'll keep going. That's what matters. You want to live better? Then live with more intention. Choose routines that honor who you are becoming. Don't rush it. Don't force it. Just build it day by day, pattern by pattern, until your habits are no longer something you do, they become who you are. And once that happens, you no longer have to fight for discipline. You no longer need to chase success. You've become the kind of person who lives with purpose. And the results? They take care of themselves. That's the quiet power of building patterns that feel natural, not forced. They stay with you, they grow with you, and over time, they create a life you're proud to live. Remove pressure by focusing only on today. Most people carry too much weight in their mind. They think about everything all at once: their future, their past, their mistakes, their dreams, their deadlines. They try to fix their entire life in one moment. And that kind of pressure doesn't help. It crushes. It makes you feel behind. It makes you feel like you'll never catch up.
And the truth is, you don't have to carry all that. You just have to deal with today. You can't live 3 years from now. You can't solve next month's problem today. You can't undo yesterday. The only thing you can truly work with is the moment you're in. And that moment doesn't need to be filled with pressure. It needs to be filled with presence. When you stop trying to solve your whole life and start focusing on what matters right now, your mind calms down. You feel less stuck, less overwhelmed, because you're no longer chasing everything. You're doing one thing that matters. That's how people begin to take real control of their life, not by having every answer, but by learning how to handle today better. When you make today strong, tomorrow becomes lighter. When you show up fully now, your future starts to shift. But it starts with narrowing your focus. Stop trying to live in multiple directions at once. That's where anxiety lives. That's where guilt grows. That's where comparison steals your energy. What you need to ask yourself is simple. What can I take care of today? Not in theory, not in a dream, but in your actual life. If you're trying to become healthier, don't think about the entire year ahead. Just ask, what's one healthy choice I can make today? If you're trying to manage your money better, don't worry about building wealth overnight. Focus on one small decision today that respects your finances. If you're trying to rebuild confidence, don't wait for a perfect version of yourself. Do one thing today that makes you proud. One day, one choice, one step. You take away the pressure when you stop stacking unrealistic expectations on your shoulders. You don't have to be everything. You just have to be honest. If your day is heavy, do what you can. If your energy is low, give what you have. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up and doing something intentionally. And that's the shift that frees people. When they stop judging their progress by how far they still have to go and start honoring what they did today. Progress is not always obvious, it's not always loud, but it's always real when it's consistent. The key is consistency without pressure.
That's what builds trust in yourself. Some people don't move forward because they're too focused on what they haven't done. They wake up already feeling behind, and that creates stress before the day even starts. The cure for that feeling is presence. You don't fix your life by overthinking it. You fix your life by doing what today needs from you. That's enough. And when you start focusing on today, something powerful happens. You start noticing what you've been missing. You hear your own thoughts more clearly. You feel your own emotions without judgment. You recognize the little choices that add up. You start living, not just reacting. People talk about stress like it's something they can't control, but most of that stress comes from stacking too many thoughts too far ahead. When you simplify your focus, you simplify your emotions. The more you try to control everything, the more powerless you feel. But when you accept that all you need to do is give your best to this one day, pressure starts to fade. You don't have to rush your growth. You don't have to fix everything at once. You just have to build a steady rhythm, a rhythm that helps you feel grounded. And the best way to build that rhythm is to live by the day. The day you're in is the only one you can work with. Make it count. That doesn't mean you have to do everything. It means you choose the few things that matter and you do them with intention. A short walk, a calm conversation, a focused work session, a simple meal, a break to breathe. These are not small things. They're the foundation of a steady life. When you live with too much pressure, you start seeing every mistake as a failure. You start thinking if you slip once, it's over. But if you're only focused on today, that pressure disappears. Because you're not trying to live perfectly. You're just trying to live honestly. You're not asking for perfection.
You're asking for presence, and that is always within your reach. Some people have good systems, but they still feel stuck, not because they're doing the wrong things, but because they expect too much too soon. They want results before they've built rhythm. They want change before they've built consistency. But the truth is, results come when you earn them day by day. It's not about speed, it's about strength. Can you stay with your system when nobody's
Watching. Can you trust the process even when it feels slow? That's what matters. And you don't answer that with words, you answer that with action. What you choose today tells the story. So ask yourself, what are you chasing that's outside of today? What are you worrying about that's stealing your energy? What can you let go of so that your mind can breathe? You're allowed to be focused without being upset. You're allowed to care deeply without carrying the weight of the world. You're allowed to move forward without rushing. That's how you find peace inside progress. That's how you stay calm while building a better life. And here's the truth. When you simplify your focus, you gain more clarity. You stop getting pulled in 5 directions. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel. Because now you're paying attention to your own road. You're walking it step by step. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 week, and they underestimate what they can do in 1 year of steady effort. The goal isn't to burn out. The goal is to stay in the game. And the only way to stay in the game is to take the pressure off and make the day count. You want to become someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more disciplined? Then do what that person would do today. You don't need to do everything they would ever do, just the next right thing. That's enough. When you focus on today, you stop carrying guilt from yesterday. You stop fearing what might happen tomorrow. You begin to respect the space you're in. You begin to feel more grounded, more alive, more in control. Because control doesn't come from knowing the future. It comes from being fully present in the moment you're in. This is your space to work. This is your time to grow. Not someday, this day. And if today doesn't go as planned, you try again tomorrow. That's it. No shame, no drama. Just reset, restart, recommit. This is how you stay free. You don't let pressure trap you in impossible standards. You remind yourself, I am building something real, and real things take time. You're not weak for moving slow. You're strong for moving forward. You're not lazy for needing rest.
You're wise for honoring your energy. You're not broken for having hard days. You're human for feeling that. So take a deep breath, slow down your mind, look at the hours ahead. What can you do with them? What will bring you a step closer to the person you're becoming? That's what matters. Not what they expect, not what they think. What you choose. Make today light enough to carry, strong enough to build, clear enough to guide you, and let go of everything else. This is your time. Don't waste it worrying about a future you haven't lived yet. Focus only on today, and watch your life begin to change. Chapter 4. Set up systems that calm your overwhelmed mind. When your mind feels overloaded, nothing feels clear. It becomes hard to think, hard to focus, and even harder to take action. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're not broken. You're human. Life moves fast. Expectations pile up. Distractions surround you. But you don't have to stay stuck in that state. You can take back control, not by doing more, but by setting up systems that take the pressure off your brain and give you a way to breathe. An overwhelmed mind doesn't need more motivation. It needs less chaos. It needs clarity. And that clarity doesn't just appear. You have to build it. You have to create simpler routines that reduce the number of decisions you make every day. The more your actions are decided ahead of time, the less stress you carry. That's the value of a system. It's a plan you can lean on when your emotions are loud and your thoughts are scattered. When your mind is calm, your thinking becomes sharper. You don't waste energy deciding what to do next. You already know. That mental clarity allows you to focus on what matters without getting stuck in loops of doubt or distraction. A calm mind isn't passive, it's powerful. It helps you act from intention instead of reaction. Think about it.